Hey guys, and welcome to the second video of this destroyer guide. I'm gonna try to keep each of these videos focused on one main topic, and the topic this time is gonna be how to prioritize your efforts. As a destroyer player, you have a lot of things to take care of. You need to be spotting, capping, dealing damage, securing kills, screening from torpedoes, smoking up your teammates, slowing down an enemy push, and so on. There are a lot of things that you could be doing. So you can't do everything at once. You can sometimes do several things at once, but what are you going to do? So this game, I'm just going to freeze this on this lineup so we can look at what can we do here. The enemy has a Grossevoy, a Harugumo, and a Yuyang, as well as one radar cruiser. So the Harugumo is obviously scary. It's got a lot of DPM, and that's really the main thing. It's clumsy, and it doesn't pose such a big torpedo threat, and it can actually be pretty easily torpedoes when it sits in smoke because it's so clumsy and big. So there are ways of dealing with it, but you don't want to be fighting it in a DPM fight. Grossevoy, also sort of a sketchy fight to take, but I would always try to take it. It could be, depending on the skill of the player and the backup and so on. Yeah, the Yuyang might actually be the problem. I would always take in a one-on-one the gunfight, but he outspots me and he might have radar. The Yuyang can equip radar or smoke. So the most scary thing that I need to be careful of is a combination of the Yuyang, which outspots me and could radar me, and any of the other ships that can deal a lot of damage. So yeah, I do need to be careful, but at the same time I have a ship that is very suited for capping, and you should always go for caps at the beginning of the game, in my opinion. The Khabarovsk on my team is like one of the very, very few exceptions, because it really can't do destroyer things. It doesn't have the concealment, and it also doesn't have the maneuverability to be in a close combat. So I'll try to spot for the Khabarovsk and take advantage of the gun support that he can do, and I spot the Salem, which is the only radar on the enemy team, so it's good to have knowledge that he's there. It also means that I can't just keep pushing forward, even though I kind of want to get in there and spot that other DD. It could end really badly. So I don't know where the gunboats are, and I know that I can't push towards the radar, so I'm disengaging here, getting a couple of shots in. And here the Harugumo actually pops up. He's behind the mountain, so I am switching to torpedoes and targeting the Harugumo just to see if he's moving forward or backwards. I can see that he's disengaging, so it's safe for me to go this way. And I want to get to the other side of the cap, because that's as far away from the Harugumo as I can come, and it's as far away from the Salem's radar as I can get. So I want to be there where I actually have some space to maneuver without constantly having to think about staying out of the radar range. And baiting the radar isn't necessary, because a large portion of the cap is outside of the radar range, so no need to take any damage trying to bait a radar. Now I'm popping the Hydro because behind me there are a lot of friendly ships that might get hit by these deep water torpedoes. So it's not for me, it's for the team. Going into the cap and trying to take the cap. I'm still moving. I don't want to sit stationary, because when you are outspotted by an enemy ship, if you sit stationary, it's so much easier to keep you spotted without getting spotted for the enemy. So here I get spotted, still moving, and there he is. And I'm gonna pause the video here because I spot the Yang. I know there's Harugumo who might be able to get shots on me, and he has some support, which isn't too scary, from the battleships and cruisers. So at this point, I could smoke up and shoot. Or I could shoot and then smoke up. A ship smoking up would get him undetected, but instead I choose to not shoot and go behind this island, and he shot. The only reason I chose not to shoot was that he shot, so I knew that he was gonna stay detected. So since he's detected, my entire team can shoot at him. If I'd smoked up, that would have been putting a smoke screen between me, or between him and the friendly ships that I have that are spotting him. So sometimes it's actually better not to shoot. I would have gotten maybe 1, maybe 2 salvos off on him and done way less damage than my entire team could do shooting. And since I didn't take the fight, I still have my smoke, so I can still play somewhat aggressively here. So, which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go between my team and the enemy. I know where the radar is, so there's no real risk here. If the destroyer sees me again, I'll take the fight because he lost a fair chunk of HP, and also I outgun him easily. And now I'm far enough away from the Harugumo that that's not going to be too much of an issue. So I'm putting my hydro between any potential torpedoes and my team, and also trying to spot where there he is. Now the reason why I went for the flank here instead of going for the B cap is that I have a lot of ships out here, and the enemy has a lot of ships out here. So it's going to be a fight that they're going to take, and my team is trying to push here. And since they are trying to push, they need a destroyer that can screen for torpedoes. They need someone who can spot that destroyer once that becomes possible. Right now I can't do that. I can't push into a bunch of battleships and cruisers, so we're trying to get some kills here. We have the cap advantage, we have the points advantage, so we don't actually need to take the B cap right now. It's okay to have a 2-to-1 cap advantage if we can also try to get ship advantage here. And right now it's even on ships. This Kurfürst in front of me is pushing a bit aggressively, in my opinion, but it might get the enemy cruiser here killed. So I'm trying to support as best I can and calling targets on low HP targets, so hopefully we can get some kills and make some plays here. Now the Kurfürst is taking some beatings here, and I will try to put a smoke screen down. I don't expect it to actually work and save him, but it's an okay spot for me to smoke up anyway and start shooting and hopefully getting this Hindenburg killed. Now yeah, the team kills, and before I can really do much, but I have some torpedoes out from the Montana, and I'm gonna try to help shoot it, try to get the kills as fast as possible. So Montana is obviously going down, so I'm moving out of the smoke, trying to get closer again. And I also want to be in front of my battleships, screening for torpedoes. As I said, the deep water torpedoes can't hurt me, and I even have a hydro, so even if it were normal torpedoes, it would be perfectly safe for me to go here. There is a lot to be gained and really not much to lose. What I'm looking for is, first of all, you also always have to be looking for the points. You don't want to go off on a flank if you desperately need a cap and the enemy is winning on points. You want to be looking at the caps, obviously, even if the points look pretty good. If the enemy has all 3 caps, that's going to change pretty fast. Also want to be looking at what's the situation with kills. And right now my team is bleeding ships pretty fast. They are dying left and right. Well, mostly on probably on in this B cap right now, because they are completely boxed in. So that's another thing to look at, is are there any exploitable weaknesses on the enemy team or on your team, and what can you do about it? So on my team right now, there is an exploitable weakness in the B cap, which I can't really help at this point. They all put themselves in the same spot pretty much, and the enemy could, if they play around it, box them in and crossfire them. So the best thing I can do is to help win this flank as fast as possible. This is right now just a race against time before my team in the B cap might be getting killed. So we want to kill these ships, which is why I choose to smoke up and shoot instead of just screening for the team and spotting. It's not like the battleships are gonna be able to be unspotted anyway, and I can't go and spot the destroyer as long as the Kurfürst is right next to it. That would simply be too dangerous. We are behind on ships, and the Venetia is pushing out into a crossfire for some reason. So it's even more important than before that we get some kills here. Hope the enemy Zhao is fortunately also on some kind of suicide rush, and he's dead. He would have been dead even if the Venetia didn't go out there and get that one salvo in on him. So at this point, there is only basically the Kurfürst that is the enemy backup, and now he's dead. So I have no issues going hunting for the destroyer. And even though I know that the enemy is closing in on the B cap, we want this destroyer dead, because he could kill both of my battleships with no risk to himself if I don't deal with it. So for me right now, I think that's the highest priority. And also it would help get some kills, which we have been getting a couple of kills here, and at least the Minotaur that is on my team is doing a really good job of trying to actually change the situation where everyone was in the B cap. So he's going around trying to get some width on our map positions. I spot the destroyer, kill it, and once I know that he's gonna die to the next salvo, I'm smoking up right away to preserve as much HP as I can, and taking a few shots where possible. But as soon as I can't shoot this Kurfürst anymore, I'm gonna exit the smoke and spot for what's left of my team on this flank. It looks pretty good at this point. We have 2 caps, we have the most points, and so I just get to say play safe, and then we lose one ship, and then we lose another ship. They were definitely, of course, lost already, but it just shows you that you should never consider a game won and just go YOLO. I could have looked at this and said, okay, this is one, I'm gonna YOLO and get some damage in. But yeah, at this point it can still be lost. We are definitely in a good position, so I'm not gonna say it looks bad, but we do hold the cards in that we have 2 caps, we have the most amount of points still, and the enemy has to make a play, and maybe I would say they don't really have the best ships for it. The Venezia has to push a battleship. I can keep him spotted, so. But I do want to help out as best I can. Get the kill, make sure that we win, because B-cap is getting flipped. No way of knowing now we lost to Smolensk. I can't tell from here how things are looking with the Minotaur, so it is a squishy ship, it might blow up any time, so we definitely want to win this flank. So do as much damage to the Venezia as I can. Making sure that he doesn't get close, no reason to take chances, so as soon as he's closing in towards my spotting distance, I disengage, go out here and try to spot him again.
All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
He went dark for a while there, but his smoke doesn't last too long, so I keep running away because I can't see if he's going directly towards me or what he is. But right here, he's actually caught in a pretty bad spot here, which I'm gonna try to take advantage of. The best way for him to disengage, in my opinion, is to try to go behind those islands, which I expect him to do, because he's still trying to shoot my battleship, and if he can get in behind those islands, he could get away. So I want to make sure that doesn't happen, and I send torps that way. At this point, the game is just about won. I don't think we could lose it if we wanted to, but I'm not taking any chances. So just smoking up, taking a few shots where I can, trying to get a little bit more damage. As you can see, it isn't really the most important, the most impressive game in terms of damage or kills or even caps. But just me being in the right place on that flank, I think was important for my team to be able to push the flank. And it could possibly have been a very different situation if there was no one to screen for the push that we did. So that's why I chose to go where I went. What I'm looking for is always, is there some weakness that I can exploit? Is there a potential weakness in my team that I need to try to mitigate? And then I try to look for points, I try to look for caps, and I try to look for kills. What does the team need the most, basically? So that's it. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you guys later.